Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be working on hand fencing. Hand fencing is pretty much the technique that comes from, or the skill from single stick, right? And why is this important? Well, I feel like we kind of tend to rely on double stick skills a little too much. So what am I talking about? First of all, in the Filipino martial arts, we use double sticks. So we have like the heaven six pattern, such as this. And then when we go into empty hand, so this is our double stick movement that you just saw. That was the heaven six. Okay, so that's how we go into empty hand version of that. Now if we go single arm, so let's say we have one knife and we want to focus on that, or one stick, just one weapon, and we're focusing on that. Maybe it's a rabid dog, who knows, right? So you kind of don't want to use your flesh. So you kind of just want to rely on the stick. So just one weapon. So in that case, if your skill set and your movement when you go to single hand is just a jab, that's all you got, then it's going to be easier for your opponent to figure you out and read you. So we're trying to make that a little bit more complex and difficult for them to read and bring up your skill. So in order to do that, I think a very, very good base to start off with is this movement right here. Let me go to single stick again. And it's this real basic shot where we're just going in a circular motion. So you're going out and it comes in a not all the way circle, but it comes back. That's circular, right? It's not a exact circle, it's more oval shape, but you see boom, 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 this kind of motion right here. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, and notice how my arms stay kind of close, so I'm in the close position, boom, like this. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because if at any given moment they come in, then see, I have the stick right here in the middle to jam it in the dog's mouth, or wild animal, or whatever, or the person trying to come in and grab me or whatever. So I can use that as a defensive barrier. Okay, so now we're going to take that same idea and go to empty hand. So we're going boom, boom, boom. So rather than doing a complete, more of a straight out jab, we're going in this circular motion. Why? Because we come here and we have that arm right here. So we're using the arm as a stick, and if they try to come in, then boom, I ram my arm into them. This goes right away into the wedge technique, which I have shown you guys before, and also an elbow strike as well. So that's the idea there. So this is your base movement from here. 1, 2, 3. And this is, to me, very, very simple. It feels a lot more natural than throwing a jab out. Okay, because this circular, you could rely on this circular motion, like so. Okay, so, and then it comes back here, and I have my barrier. So from here, we're going to build upon it, because if you're just doing this, they're going to read it. It's predictable. They'll figure you out. So the next movement I feel that is a good one is this diagonal. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm just making an X pattern, and it's going diagonal down, diagonal down. And what goes diagonal down can also go diagonal up in the reverse motion. So this is up, 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 up. I'm hitting upwards, upwards. 1, 2. And I'm drawing an X once again. So you could go either way, down or up, and that is going to help us make our hand fencing, because that's what we're talking about. So here, making the circles, and then I can go down, 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 up, 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 and go back to this. And it's natural. It's not like I'm trying to remember a mathematical equation in the heat of combat under pressure. So this, if you put in the practice, you shouldn't have problems with this. This should be able to come out, boom, 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 and then always go back. And once again, I believe this is the most simplest one. So making this come out and then go to here, no problem. Should be no problem. So now we want to add one more layer of complexity, and that's where the angles of attack come in. Normally, for single stick, single hand, if you're into the Filipino martial arts, that's all you got. That's what you got. So right here, I'm trying to make it, I'm still teaching the exact same stuff, but just in a little bit different manner, and with the focus, with the idea of something that I made up called hand fencing, okay, to try to get your skill level higher, okay. So now, the angles of attack, let's go to single stick again. Let me start with the number 5 pattern, which is the diagonal down, so that's 1, 2, side to side, 3, 4, and then stab. Hopefully, you know, there's a ton of these, so you could go like, this is the number 6 pattern, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's the eye flick, number 6. So that one's comprised of 6 movements. The number 7 form has 7 movements, and then there's a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've even experienced 24, so, you know, that's whatever, but just letting you know, there's a lot of different ones. Okay, so we're going to stick with the number 5 one, right? It doesn't have to be this one. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But pick an angles of attack form, and you're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right there, instead of just stopping, we could easily go back to this. So it's nice and fluid, and I'm not even really thinking. And I can go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back to this. See, so now I can link it, and I'm doing now just a diagonal. I can go diagonal upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to circle. You see, so even while I'm talking to you, yes, I have put in the reps, but even while I'm talking to you, because I have the simpler movements to help me chain it and keep going, that it's very natural for me, and I don't even have to stop, and it's just one arm. At any given moment, of course, if I have the opportunity, I could go double hand, but we tend to kind of rely on this too much, and when you go double hand, notice how much closer I had to get. So what I'm trying to do is let you guys work on the hand fencing, so you could just be with one hand and still give them a lot of problems, and then if need be, if necessary, if need be, you could go to double hand. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.